Bill can go ahead and have your seat.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to have you here this morning. My name is Joe Edwards. I'm president of the Prince George's County Economic Development Corporation. It's our responsibility to have a groundbreaking like this every day throughout the rest of the summer the county executive has formed. So I appreciate, if you leave your names and addresses, you'll be invited to each one of those groundbreakings. First of all, I would like to thank you for joining us at this groundbreaking. It's more than a groundbreaking as far as I'm concerned. We're actually commemorating well over a decade, actually about 18 years of energetic, sometimes frustrating endeavors of a remarkable individual. A man whose dream, actually the dream of developing a quality business park here in Bowie, Maryland. This individual and others of those who believed and supported him in bringing to Bowie and Prince George's County the beginning of a new era. The Bowie Town Center will follow soon, the Maryland Science and Technology Center, and of course the Renaissance Center for the Awakening. Not really, it is the beginning. This is the Renaissance Center, and I am privileged to be here and be your master of ceremonies today. And I thank you for coming. I'd like to introduce to you at this time a councilman representing the city of Bowie. This councilman has been very active, particularly in the area of economic development. In the many work sessions we have had on programs that involve economic development in
the Bowie Mayor and the entire City Council share in celebrating the arrival of the Renaissance Center this morning. Actually, it brings to mind two words: Renaissance, a new beginning, a step into the future, a bold major move toward long-awaited quality economic development in Bowie. The second word is a more personal word: perseverance. Perseverance is simply another way of saying Frank Gaegler. Frank, it's been a long road to today. Dreams come easy. Vision is a little harder. Fulfillment is the hardest of all. Today we celebrate not only your dreams and your visions, but their fulfillment and the future, realizing that this is not an end, but a beginning.
We're proud of it, and may God love and bless you all real good for continued success, good health, and happiness. Thank you.
Thank you. Day before yesterday, Frank Aloisi and I were talking out here on this site. He said the one thing that Frank Gaegler never did to him in 18 years, and that was tell him a lie. I'll have to say in the last 2 years, Frank has never told Joe Edwards a lie. We've been together at 7 o'clock in the morning and 7 o'clock at night. Almost inseparable, Frank. At this time, I'd like to introduce someone who I believe will be a credit to Prince George's County. And perseverance, you're right, Jack. He's had it. He's given a lot of us the same attitude. Frank Gaegler. Frank.
Louis and Joe are a hard act to follow, believe me when I say it, especially Louis. I've been asked to say a few words on behalf of the International Renaissance Center. And I guess it's appropriate to comment what President told me about 3 or 4 months ago at a meeting involving Bob Smith, himself, and I. He said that if you went back in 1900 and went to a farmhouse and told that farmer the Model T that you had outside would change the entire face of America. There would be highways going from here to California that would take your produce within days as versus weeks or months. It was hard for him to comprehend or understand. We're living in an age of computerization. of scientific technology that will bring us forth into the 21st century today. The message that President Toll said that if you could visualize that farmer and what his thoughts were 40 years down the road, with the highways that we have today that Louis so fondly mentioned, with the Crane Highway. But imagine, if you will, what the supercomputer across the street will bring to this country and to the world. And we share in a part of that. We here, in this region, in the state, and in the country. The vision I had wasn't necessarily just the computer, but the humanities and the quality of life that Maryland itself offers. It's part of the world capital. It's hard for we who have lived here to understand that concept. 2 years ago, there was a letter sent by our Commerce Department, the United States Commerce Department, around the world to the embassies, mentioning this location and the desirability of it. Yes, we bring a lot, but more importantly, having 8 children who I have been part of, and they part of me, it gives us some strength and vitality. Well, what is it all about except what we give to our children? The most significant thing, one of the things that drove me to perseverance that I have today, is to know that we will leave, as part of our heritage, an employment base for our children. Thousands and thousands of children have grown up without that employment base. It will give us an added feature. Maryland is the greatest state. It's probably one of the best lands in the whole wide world. Not because I say so. 350 years ago, Louis, Joe, Paris, the early settlers arrived along this valley 1 mile, 5,000 feet away. They settled at this valley. The aristocracy, the planters, and they brought with them a love. No other land form in this country has the beauty, the naturalness, the degree of slope as that of this valley here, Patuxent Valley, and specifically this area here. You live in part of their area, Mr. Goldstein, and most of us around here do. 3 miles away to the west, as a boy, I lived in High Bridge. I picked apples. I remember this area so well. I wanted to leave something more than just a building. It was that dream that I started. Now, all of that aside, I want to thank Rich Scott because he's just done a super job with all the people around. And all of the people stock it. Since January 2nd, 1985, we have excavated sediment ponds, we have graded, and we're ready to go forward in the lift station. To Frank Aloisi, who gave me a lot of his life and a lot of his time, and being critical, to Joe Edwards, and to Joanna Norris, who through those days of trial and error to obtain the lift station that will start construction just 200 feet away within the next 4 to 6 weeks. And the total commitment by the WSSC is over $3.5 million to this area to bring forth the sewer, the water, and the lift station that will make it available for the users on this site. Joanna was great. She really was. I can't begin to thank all of the people because to single out one is wrong because everybody has shared with me so much of their lives. I really owe you a gratitude. To my wife, Patricia, the word trying isn't the word for it at all. Sometimes I've been tyrannical, not by voice. Matter of fact, I'm just the opposite. But by deeds of pushing forward with the concept, matter of fact, almost with an obsession to what I believed in. But most importantly today, it represents one thing in this thought process, and that is this. I really am happy to share a moment and some days with people of my life, but to share this moment of my life with you, because it will be part of an era, of a monument that will take place that will bring a lot of wealth, a lot of employment, and a lot of quality that's already here, but will be added to this area. Thank you very much, and we have refreshments, Joe, you know that. Thank you, Julian.
Frank, would you mind standing here for just a minute?
I gotta say one other word. The stand-up guy had been Lou Grasso and Julian Seidel. You know, to mention money is one thing, but they went beyond that. They were loyal, and they showed a friendship and a constructive criticism that was necessary. We think of bankers, we think of that type of situation where they're very critical. Well, they were, but a very constructive criticalness. And Julian, I hope, as a trustee of the money of the bank, that we will do honor to that and return to the shareholders what you have committed to us in that trust.
Thank you, Frank. Your family and friends have asked us to make a special presentation to you, and I've asked the county executive to assist us in that. Paris?
We have a little plaque here. It says, "The family and friends and associates of Francis Gaegler," between the son of my bifocals, we got a little problem here, "join with him in the celebration of a dream come true, groundbreaking ceremonies for the International Renaissance Center, May 8, 1985.
Thank you, Paris.
What they did, Chris.
Smile, big smiles now. Okay, this time, everybody get a shovel of dirt now.
Look at Rich backing up.
Okay, on the count of 3, you're going to throw it towards me, not on me.
What do you reckon, mate?
Watch the dust come down.
Ready, 1,